Hello everyone, Nikhil this side from Coding Beam. So in this video we are going to build the backend with the Node, Express and the MongoDB. So about the backend development, it is the backend of any front-end app which provides the API calls and the data. So it's the heart of a front-end which handles all the data related tasks in an application. And the backend can be built with so many programming languages like the Java, PHP, C#, Django, etc. And according to the MVC part, it is the model and the controller part in the MVC. So why do we need the backend in an application? So to store the data in the databases, we need the backend. To create some REST APIs, we need the backends, and to create some API calls. And for building the data models, we need the backend development in an application. So how we are going to build the backend? So the first there will be the Node.js, which is a runtime environment built on the Chrome's V8 engine. So the Node.js is a runtime environment of the JavaScript, and as we know that the JavaScript is the only programming language that can be changed in the execution. So it was taken out of the Chrome's V8 engine and now it is maintained as a standalone project called the Node.js to build the applications. And the Express.js, it is the Node.js application framework for the web application. So it is just an framework for the Node.js which handles the server-side scripting and some routing. And about the MongoDB, it is a NoSQL database for storing the data. As MongoDB is a NoSQL database, so if you are coming from the SQL, then you will have to see that the collection is a table and the document is a record in it. So now we will be moving to the Visual Studio Code to build the backend of our app. So we have to go to the Visual Studio Code. And here first we have to initialize a package repository, and for that we have to go to the terminal and then we have to select a new terminal there. And after selecting it, I will make it a little bit bigger. So after selecting it, we have to run a command like npm and it will be init. So after running this command, so now there will be some questions like the package name will be the backend. You have to click on the enter. And the version will be 1.0.0. You have to press enter again, and the description can be blank, and the entry point you have to change it to the app.js. So I will change it to the app.js and I will hit enter again, and there will be the test commands. You can press enters again and again like the get repository enter, keywords enter, the author enter, and license equals to enter. So now you will see there will be the summary and you have to click on the yes. So now you have to press enter. Now you will see there will be the package.json file into your directory. So when you click on it, you will see there will be some packages like the name equal to backend, description is the blank, and the main file, the entry point will be the app.js. So we have to create a app.js file for it like app.js, and now we have created an app.js. So after it we have to install some packages like we have to go to the terminal again and we have to install 3 packages now. The first one is the Express, the second one is the Mongoose, and the third one is the NodeMon. So about them, the Express is a framework we have to install through the npm, and about the Mongoose, it is an application framework, like it is a library which we can import from the npm package manager to make some use of the MongoDB databases. So guys, now we have to install the Express.js. So for that we have to type the command like npm I express, and it will install the Express.js in our system. And for that, Express.js is a web application framework for the Node.js application. So now you will see in the dependencies there is an Express in it, and now we have to install the MongoDB. Like we don't have to install the MongoDB, we just have to install the Mongoose, which is a library which handles the operations with the MongoDB and the data models with the MongoDB. So we have to install the Mongoose here like with the npm install Mongoose, and now you will see the Mongoose will be installed within a moment here and it will reflect in the dependencies object. So we have to wait for a moment till it installs. So guys, now you can see the Mongoose is there in the dependencies and now it is installed. So next we have to install the one second guys. So now we have to install the NodeMon here. So for that npm I NodeMon, and NodeMon is a library in which it restarts the server whenever any file changes in the backend, so we have to install the nodemon now, npm i nodemon, and then you will see the nodemon will be installed within a moment. So guys, now the nodemon is also installed, so we have to go to the package.json now, and then we have to go in the scripts object, and then we have to type here another thing like the start script, like the start, and then it will be the nodemon app.js. So whenever the npm start command will run, so it will execute this command, the nodemon app.js, and then we have to add a app.js file here like app.js, and it will be the entry point of the application. So now in the app.js, if I will just console.log, or if I will now go to the terminal first, and then you will see, and then here if I will now clear the screen, and if I will now just run this command npm start, then you will see the nodemon app.js will run here. Then you will see the nodemon app.js, and now the whole application is running now. So if I will now just console.log here with the hello world, so then you will see it will be reflected when I will change the file, it will be reflected and it will restart the server for this. So the hello world is there. So now if we have to, so now the structure of the app.js will be, first there will be the import statements, then there will be the middlewares which contains routes also, and then there will be the connections and port. So then the first there will be the import statement. So for the import statements, first we have to import the express.js like const express equals to, now it is a require function and it is available in the ES6 module libraries, so we have to use this const express equals to require, and then it will require the express for us. So now the express.js is imported, and now in the middlewares we have to declare a new variable. It will be the app variable which will handle all operations of the app like const app equals to, and now we have to provide the value of this express to this as a reference. So then you will be using express, and now it will be created as a reference of the express, and now the whole functionality will run from this application, from this app variable. So now if there is a connections and the port, so then we can listen to the connections, like if there is a connection like app.get, the middleware will be, the routes will be in the middlewares like app.express, and then we can create a routes also, routes, and then it will be the app.get function. It will be the get method of the HTTP request. So then it will be the get, and then the slash, and then there will be the callback function. So for the callback, if I can declare an arrow function here with that, and then it will contain two parameters. First there will be the request and response. So now if I will now do this, like whenever we open the server, and then you will see response, the response will be sending response.send the hello in the web page. So if I will now do this with the hello world, so then you will see hello guys, so then you will see this will send the response to the server. But where is the connection to the server? So now in the connections and port, we have to listen the connection at the rate localhost 5000. So for that app.listen to the localhost port, and it will be the 5000. So then if I will now save, and if I will now go to the terminal, where is my terminal actually? So now there is a terminal here. So now you will see the starting node app.js. So if I will now go to the Chrome, and then if I will now type here the localhost :5000, then you will see there will be the hello guys in the web page. So this is the simple Express.js application with the Node.js. So now we have to build some connections and some databases with the MongoDB also. So now we have to go to the MongoDB tab. Like first we have to install the Mongoose const. We have to import the Mongoose const Mongoose equals to require again with the Mongoose. So then if I will now save, and for the MongoDB connection, so we have to go to the mongodb.com to create a new file. to create a new database. So mongodb.com, MongoDB, type the MongoDB in the search panel, and then you will see the MongoDB links will be there like MongoDB. So you can select the mongodb.com, any link there, and then you can click on the sign in option here. So when you will click the sign in, then you can sign in with the Google also, and I will also sign with the Google, and then you will see it will be reflected in the MongoDB console window. So now you will see the Atlas, MongoDB Atlas. So now you have to configure the MongoDB for it. So now you will see there will be the Atlas. I will create a new project here with the new project of the MongoDB, and it will be the name of the project will be the backend project. I will create this project by clicking on the next. Then you will see add members. Then you can skip this and you can just press on the click create the project for us. So create project, and then you will see the Atlas will be there, like if there will be some clusters and all. So like you will see there will be the build a database, click on it and then select a free one. So click on the create from the free and then create a shared cluster, and then select any you want, but I will go with the default. Create a cluster now for us, and then we have to wait till it completes. It will take around 3 to 4 minutes to complete. Until then we have to go to the network access. The network access is there, and then we can create a new IP address from where we can access this application. So you can click on the allow access from anywhere and you can just confirm. Then you will see IP will be created for us, and then you have to go to the database access, and then you have to create a new database user. So it will be the admin for me, and you can just click on the auto generate secure password, and then you will just copy it. So then you will see actually you have to go to the add new database and then auto generate the secure password, and then click on the copy, and then just it will be the new user admin will be created in it. So then you have to go to the databases, and then you will see the connection string we have to get from the connect button here. So it will be created within 1 to 3 minutes. So we have to wait till it's deploy the changes for us. So guys, now you can see the deployment has been completed. Now only this thing is remaining. So we have to go to the connect here, connect, and then connect your application from it, like the MongoDB drivers. Connect your application here, and then we have to copy this command here, like the MongoDB. This is the connection URL, so we have to copy this URL from here. So click on the copy and then go to the Visual Studio Code, and then after this you have to go to the Mongoose, like we have imported the Mongoose from the Mongoose library. So then in the connections here we have to add a connection here with it, like we have to use it in the try, or we can just use the mongoose dot connect. So then we have to add the connection string here. With that we have to add it in the strings, like mongoose dot connect this, and then after this you have to replace the password with the password which you have declared with the MongoDB, like I have declared this. So you have to use this password from that, whichever you have copied from that admin password. And now the first one, there is a database name. So the default database name will be the my first database in the MongoDB. So you have to click on it and you can edit it like the shop. So you can edit it with the shop. So now you will see if it is connected. So then we have to add a new object here also as the second parameter. So now as the second parameter we have to use here the use new URL parser and give the value to the true. And then again there is a one more parameter like the use, and it will be the unified topology, and give the value to the true. So then you will see now the mongoose.connect returns a promise there. So we have to use it in the try catch block. So for the mongoose.connect we have to use here the then. It will be the then, and then there will be the callback function within it. And then you will see we will have console.log in the console window that connected to database. or else there will be the catch part also, that there will be the catch, and then if there is an error in the connection, then we will catch this error from here, and this will be the callback function again in the arrow function. So then the error, we will just console.log that about the error. So if I will now save, and if I will now run this command like mongoose.connect, the MongoDB admin is there, password is there, and these are about the things. So if I will now save, so guys, now you will see the connection to database is completed in the console window. So now it is connected to database, and the server will open whenever the connection will succeed, and only then the server will open. So now we have to go to the folder structure, and then we have to create some folders here. The first one, it will be the model, and the second one, it will be the routes, and the third one, it will be the controllers. So controllers. So first we have to go to the model tab. So now the folder structure is created. So guys, now the folder structure has been created now, and now we will move on to the further development of the REST API. So first we will be creating a new database model. So about it, a data model is a collection of concepts and rules and the description and of the structure of the database, and the database model can include sub-entities, relationship, properties, data flow, and tables and more. And so create a model, we need the mongoose. So now we will import the mongoose. So we have to import it, equals to in the require, and it will be the mongoose. So then we have imported it, and now we have to import the schema class from the mongoose so that we can create a new schema for a product collection. And to import a schema, we need the schema like const schema equals to, and it will be, now we have to import from the mongoose library to create it, mongoose, and it will be mongoose.schema. So now we have imported the schema class from the mongoose, and now to create a product schema, so we have to create a new variable with the schema. It will be the const product schema, and it will be equals to the new schema. So new schema, and it will contain some properties like the first, it will be the name of the product, and it will be in the nested object, and there will be the type, and the type of the name will be in the string format. So I will type the string, and there is a one more field which is a required. So we will need the required here, and it will be the true. And now if we are giving a required field to true, so it means that now it is mandatory to be filled. So now after the name there will be the description. So the description will be same, the type will be the string, and now the required will be equals to the true here also. And now we have to create a new properties like name, description, and it will be the price will be there, like it will be type of the number, and it will contain the required field also. So I will set the required, and then it will contain and after the price, the new property will be, it will be the image URL. So for the image URL, it will be having the type of the string, because the URL type is always the string, so it will be the string, and then the required here also true. So I will set required to true, and then the next property will be the quantity of the product, and it will be again the type of number, and the required field will be here also, it will be the true, because we need the quantity of the product, like how much quantity we have. So the quantity will be equals to 2, and now there will be the is featured product, because if the product is marked as it is featured, so we have to show it in the top row of the front-end application. And now we need the export statement here, and it will be the module dot exports, and it will be the mongoose dot, and it will be the model function from the mongoose. So now, and the first parameter will contain this name of the model, so it will be a product, and the second parameter will contain the schema of that, it will contain the product schema, so it will be the product schema here. So then now it will export the schema, and now in the Mongoose database, in the MongoDB database, the collection name will be stored in the products because it stores the collection in the plural form, and the first letter of the model name will be in the smaller case, so it will store as the products in that. So now we have to import it in the routes functionality. So we have to go to the routes and we have to import the express in the routes. So about the routes functionality in an application, it is used to navigate to different URLs of the application. So to implement a router functionality, we need the express router. So we will create a new router variable here. It will be the const router, and it will contain the value as an express router. So it will be the express dot router function. So now it will contain the full functionality of it. So we will implement the router functionality, and now we need to create a get request from this router variable, and it will be the router dot get, and it will be the get request of the HTTP. So then it will contain a same URL with the default, and then there will be the callback function. So we have to add a new callback function here. So I am writing a new arrow function, and now this arrow function will contain three parameters like request, response, and the next. The request we have to provide to it, and the response which we will get in the front end, and the next will be moving on to the next middleware, and it will be in the async function. Async. So about the async and await keyword, so we have to use the async and await for this functionality. And about the async and await keywords, they enable the asynchronous and the promise based behavior to be written in the cleaner style, and to avoid the need of the explicitly configure the promise chains. So we need these keywords. So first we will be creating a new products variable, and it will be the let products equals to, and it will be await, and there will be the product model that we have imported here. So we have to import the product model here, await product dot find. So it will return all the products in the array format. So then the product dot find. So now the await keyword will wait for this promise to be completed, and now the await keyword is only used whenever there is a async process, so it will await for it. So now we will check some validations here. So it will be the if there is no any products, so then we will just return the as a response. So it will be returning the response dot status, and the response dot status now will be the 404 because now there is no any products like 404, and then we will send a message to the user with the JSON. It will be a JSON, and then it will contain a message, and the value will be the no products. And in the else part here, I will just send the response as a response dot status now, and now the status will be the 200 because now there are some products. So the response dot data will be the 200, and then we will send in the JSON like there is the products. So it will contain the products there as a key value pair in the JSON. So and now we need just to export this router here. So it will be the module dot exports, and it is equals to the router. So it will export this get function from here and the router functionality from here. So then we will need to use it in the app.js file, which is the main file. So first we need to import the router from it. So const router equals to the require, and it is in the product route section. So now we need to use it in the routes block. So there is the routes block. So then there will be the app.use, and it will the middleware, and then we need to go to the products. So the first, the localhost 5000 will be there, and then we need to go to the /products, and this will be the main URL, and then there will be the router. So then it will contain as a second parameter as a callback function, and a callback function we have already created here in the router functionality. So it will contain the callback function as the router here. So now if I will now save, so if I will now go to the terminal, and then you will see listening to localhost 5000, and it is now connected to database. So now we have to go to the Postman, and we have to create a new request. So if you don't have the Postman installed in your system, then please go to Google and download it and install the Postman in your system, as we need it to send the request and to test a REST API. So now we need to go to the Postman. So we need to send a new request. We have to select get from it, and then the URL localhost 5000 and the products/products. And if I will now just send the new request, then you will see there will be the response is equals to the 200, which is okay, and it is now showing the products array, which is the blank. Now you will see now response is okay now. And now if I will now go to the collections in the MongoDB, then you will be seeing there is a shop and there is a collection products. Then you will see this is the empty because it don't have any value now. So now you will see this is how can we create a GET request to the server with the MongoDB. So now we will be going to the product routes file, and now we will implement a POST request with it. So guys, now we will send a new POST HTTP request to add a product to the database, and for that we need to go to the product routes file and we need to add a new request as the router.post. So it will be the new request as the router.post, and first parameter will be the default URL, which is the slash, and the second parameter will be the callback function once again, and it will be the callback function, and it will be an async function as we did in the GET request async, and the parameter will be the request, response, and the next. So these will be the parameters. So guys, now we need to create a new product model instance and we need to pass the data to it. So we will create a new product variable as instance and assign the values to the product model in the JSON format. So first we will create a new product variable, product, so equals to, it will be the new product, and then it will be the new product model. So then it will contain the JSON file which contains all the values which we will pass. So then it will contain all the properties which have like the name, the description, the price, the image URL, quantity, and this feature. So it will contain all the fields. So then the first there will be the name, and now we need to use here the request.body, and the request.body contains the key value pairs of the data which is submitted in the request.body. So we need to add the properties and we need to give the values as we get in the request.body. So the first there will be the request.body, request.body, and it will be the name. So it will be, so it will contain the request.body and the name of it. So then we will need all of this in next. So then there will be the description and all, like the description, the price, the image URL, the quantity, and the is feature. So they all will be in the request.body format. So after this guys, and now we need to save this product. So if we have to save this, there is a function in the Mongoose which is the save. So we will need to use this to save this product, and it will be the product, and it will be equals to the await. So now, so it will wait for the promise to be done, and then await product dot save. So it will wait for it to save, and then if I have to check a validation here, then it would be like the if no product, like if the product is the falsy value now, then we need just to return as the response, write the return response dot status, and it will equals to 500 as the internal server error, and I will send a message to the user as the JSON like message, and it will be cannot add product. So then it would be the response dot status. Now the status would be 201 because now it is created, and the created status is 201, and now the message to the user will be it will be in the JSON format. So then the message will be, or like we can just directly show the product to the user which is now added. So do the product. So the guys, now this will be the post function in this request. So they have the router.post, the async function. If there is an error, we can now use here the next function, which will be the next middleware. The next function will be there as the middleware. So the request, response, and the next. So we are requesting the request.body from it, which contains the key value pairs of the data to be submitted, and it will contain all the fields of the product. So if I will now save, and if I will now go to the app.js file, and if I will, and we have already implemented the routes here with the app.use products, and just we have now to go to the terminal tab, and we have to select a new terminal from there, and I will just restart the server now from it, and it will be npm start. So if I will now do this, so then we have to go, and then we have to check if it is okay or not. Listening to localhost 500 okay, and the connection to database, and it is okay. So guys, now we have to go to the Postman here, and then we have to select a new request as the post from it. So from this drop down, you can select the post, and then the request URL will be HTTP. HTTP localhost 5000 and the products. So this will be the URL. So if I will now add a body to this, so we have to go to the body tab and we have to select a new raw here. So I will select a raw, and instead of the text here we need to select it to JSON because we are now sending the JSON data. So we have to go to the app.js. If I will just copy all the fields from here from the product.routes, like the name and this all. So we have to add it in the JSON format here. So the JSON file will be this. So now the name will be in the quotes, and then the name will be the request.body.name, which will be the, if I will add a name here as the computer, and then there will be the description. So the description will contain the fields like this is the computer. I will remove this, and this is the computer, and then in the price it will just be a numeric value. It will be price, numeric value it will contain, so it will be like the 20,000, and the image URL will be now the blank. It will be the sample URL as of now, and I will add it as a sample URL only. So then the quantity, it will be like in the numeric format again. It will be the number like 1 2 3, like it is a 12 quantity we have, and it is in the strings, and now this is featured now, and it is just a boolean value, so we have to provide it. So the boolean value can contain true or false, so it will contain the true and false. So if I will now send it to true, and if I will now just format it a little bit here, like we have to click on the beautify here to format it, so then you will see it is now formatted here. So if we have to send the request to the server now from this, so if I will now send the request, then you will see there can be an error also, like invalid protocol HTTP. So it is a HTTP, sorry. So if I will now send the request, so it may be okay and it may be not okay, so we have to wait for it and we have to check. So there is an error in the console, so we have to check that error, that type error cannot read property name of undefined. And guys, this error is coming because we are now sending the JSON data to the server, and we need to add JSON parser with it in the middleware. So in the app.js file, so our first middleware should be the JSON parser there. So it will be the app.use, and it will be the express. So the express contains a JSON parser, so we will use it. So the express.json. So if I will now save it, then you will see, if I will now go to the Postman to send a request. So if I will now send a request with it, like the name equals to the computer, the description value is a computer, it is a computer, URL, the quantity is 12, the is featured equals to the true. So if I will now send this product, so I should see there in the console. So guys, now you will see the request is the 201 which is created. So we have done it, and now you will see the product is there as the name, computer, description, this. And if I will now go there to the MongoDB to check if the data is stored in the MongoDB, so if I will now refresh it, then I should see the data. So guys, now you will see that document is there in the MongoDB also. So guys, this is how can we create a post request to the MongoDB database. So if I will now go to Postman, if I will now create another product, like this is the mobile phone, so we have to go to the body here and we have to check it is a mobile, and this is a mobile, and this is now the price will be the 10,000, and the sample URL quantity is we have is 2. And if I will remove this, and if I will now send it again, then you will see now the mobile is also created in the MongoDB. So if I will now go to MongoDB once again, so then if I will refresh it, then you will see there will be the mobile also. So the total collections are 2, the documents are 2, then you will see this computer, this mobile. So guys, this is how can we create a post request. So now we have to go to the product routes and we have to create another request. So now we have multiple products in the database, and now if I want only single product by its ID, like there is a ID from the MongoDB that this is my ID. So if I want only the single product by its ID, so we need another get request API. So now we need another get request, but now it will only display only the single product and only by its ID, which we will get from the URL. And by the URL we have to provide a new parameter in the URL. So now we are creating a new get request to get the product by its ID. So it will be the router dot get, and it will be now the get request. But now here after the default URL there will be an ID parameter. So to declare the ID parameter here we have to provide a colon and the ID, the colon and the parameter name. So now it will contain, after the colon it will contain the ID of the product. So then we have to provide same as the callback function as we did in the get and post request. So it will be async and the request, response and the next as the parameters of the function, and then now this will be again the arrow function once again. So now guys we have to provide a new product. Like first we have to get the ID from the URL. So guys, now to get the ID from the URL we need a new parameter, and it will be the request.params. And about the request.params, it is an object containing the parameter values passed from the URL path. So to get the ID we need the request.params here. So it will be the const, I will declare a new ID like product ID equals to now request.params.id. So now the ID is here, which we are giving a value here. So the ID is here. So now we have to get the product from this ID. So now we have to create another product variable. So the let product, and it will be equals to now the await, and it will be a product dot find by ID. So Mongoose has a method that it will be the model dot find by ID. So you have to say there is a find by ID method here with the Mongoose. So we have to check that, and then we have to pass the ID to it. Like this is the product ID, so we have to pass this ID to it. So it will contain this ID. So then it will return the populated product from it. So then we have to give a validation here, like if there is no any product. So then we'll just send a response like response dot status, and it will be the 404, like there is no any product, and the JSON will contain a message inside it. So it will be the message, and it will be like no product found. So now after the if part, so now we have to send the request, like now if there is no any product we are sending the 404 request, but now we will send the request like response dot give the response dot status. Now we have to send a status to the 200, like it is now success, and we have to send the product in the JSON. It will the JSON, and it will contain the product itself. So if I will now run this inside the Postman. So if I will now run it, so I have to go to Postman here, and I have to provide ID, like there is a get request only. So if I will now send this request, it will populate all the products for me. But if I want only this mobile product, so we have to get this ID from here, and we have to create another request, or we can directly create this request out of like the products and slash. Now we have to provide the ID here as we did there in the code, like we have to provide this ID. And if I will now send this, so it should populate me only the mobile product. So we have to wait till it comes. Or if there is any error, I think there is an error like unhandled promise reject workflow response dot status. So guys, status spelling is not correct, so we have to check this. It will be status. So if I will now save this, and if I will now go to Postman once again, if I will now send this request again, so it should populate me the product now. So guys, now you will see we have now getted the product by its ID here. So if I will provide a different ID here, like if I will accept the A here, if I will not provide like a B, so it will show me no product found. So this is the validation also working here. So guys, now the get by ID is also working, and now we can have ID from the URL. So now we can have this IDs. So now we can also update the product by its ID. So we want to send a patch HTTP request for it. So to update the product, we have to send a patch HTTP request. So it will be the router dot patch, and now the patch request will contain the same URL path like this, and it will be a default, and then the ID parameter from it, like so it will contain the same ID here, ID, and then once again the callback function will be there in the asynchronous format, async, and then it will contain the request, response, and the next as the parameters of the callback function. So it will be an arrow function once again. So now So guys, now we have to get this ID here once again like we did in the get by ID. So I will copy this and I will paste this here. Like now we have the ID. So now guys, Mongoose has another method to update the product inside it. So it will be the model.findById and update. So we have to check this model here. So now we have to create a new product and it will contain the let product and it will contain a await. So we have to check for it and we have to wait for it till it completes the promise for us, like await. Now the product model product.findById, it should populate us inside this. So now you will see the find by ID and update is here. So we have to do this find by ID and update. And now the first parameter of this function will contain the product ID which we are getting here. So the first parameter will contain the product ID. So we have to give, and the second parameter will contain an object with all of its properties and values. So now we have to do this. Now we have to give the same as we did in the post request. So we have to get this here like the name, and it will get from the request.body and the description, price, image URL, quantity, and is featured. So we have to get this as we did in the post. So I will copy this and I will paste this out there like the name, description and all. So it will contain in this format. So now we will now try to save this product now. Now the product equals to, and now it will contain again the await and the product.save. Because now her Mongoose has a method like .save to save the products in the database. So it will await for it to save and then it will save in the database. So now we will check the validation here, like if no product, or like if it is a false value, so we will return response dot status. So the status will contain the 500 and it is an internal server error, and it will send a JSON in the message here. It will send a JSON. So it will contain a message parameter key, and the value will be cannot save product if there is an error. So now, and after the if part, we can now just send the response as a successful message. So it will be the response dot status. So it will be the 200, it is of the success, and we can send the message in the console that, and I will send the product here in it. It will be the product. So if I will now save, and if I will now try this in the Postman request, so this is the code. So if I will now go to the Postman to send the request, so here we have to select a new request from it, and it will be now patch request. So we have to provide this patch, and then it will contain the same URL like this. If I will now get all the products by ID, so get the products by ID. So now the computer is here. If I will get the ID of the computer, and if I will provide this ID from this, like the URL and the ID, URL will be localhost 5000 and the products, and the ID this. And now we have to go to the body tab. So we have to provide all the values here as we did in the raw and the JSON format. So we have to provide all the values as we did in the post request. So it will contain the values like there is a, we have already created this. So I will copy this and I will paste this here also. It will be the ID like name. Now the name is equals to the laptop, and this is a new laptop here, and the price will be, it will be the 50,000, and the sample URL image, the quantity will be now only 1, and the is features now equals to false. So if I will now save this, and if I will now provide this request, if I will now send, then it should update the product. So we are getting the computer here actually, but actually we are getting the computer here, but if I will go to the get request to check, so it should show me the laptop now, because now the Mongoose is giving the immediate response. So it will take some time to update the product. So now you will see the updated product is here, like the laptop is here. If I will now get all the products by its ID, so if I will now get only this product by its ID here, so then I should see the product here. Now this is the laptop sample URL, quantity 1, and this featured. So now we can also update the product by its ID, we can get the ID, and we can add the ID. So now one thing is remaining in the CRUD operation, and now it is the delete. So guys, now to delete the product, so we can also delete the product by its ID if we have the product ID. And so to delete the product, we need to create a new delete HTTP request with the router, and then we have to get the ID once again. So if I will now go to the code, if I will add a new delete request here, and it will be the router dot delete, and it will contain the same URL, the same parameters in it. It will be the URL and then the ID parameter inside it, and then the callback function once again, as we did in the all request, response, and the next as the parameters here. So then we have to get this ID from here, from the URL. So it will be the same as we did in the get request and the update request. So the get product by ID. So it will get the product by its ID. So guys, now we have to provide the product, like we have now get the ID from this product. So now to delete the product, Mongoose has another method to delete the product, and it will be the model dot find by ID and remove, and the function will contain one parameter. So now the products equals to, and it will be the await. So it will wait for it, await, and the product dot model, await, and the product model, it will be the product, and dot find by ID, and it will be the find by ID and remove. So we have to wait till it comes in the autocomplete. So then you will see find by ID and remove is the method here. So we have to check this method and we have to use this, and then we have to provide the parameter as the product ID here. So we have to provide the parameter. So guys, then if I will now check this, like it will await for it, and it will find by ID, and it will remove the products from the database. So we have to check the validations once again, like if product is the falsy value, and it will be, and then we will send a request like return response dot status, and it will be the 500, and it will contain the JSON message, and it will be the JSON, and it will be message will contain like unable to delete product. So if I will now send this, now if the product will not be deleted, so this message will be shown that unable to delete the product. So then in the else we have to send the request directly, then, and now the status is the 200, like response dot status, and it is now response have a code of the 200, and then the JSON message will contain message once again, like message, it will be the product deleted. So if I will now save, so now you will see this will be the delete request of it. So we are seeing the product ID from the URL from that, and define by ID and remove, and giving the parameter as the request ID, product ID. So if I will now go to the Postman once again, if I will now send a delete request here, and we have to select from the drop down is the delete, and we have to get this ID from the URL, like if this ID contains a laptop here, so I will copy this ID, and if I will now check this ID from by deleting it, so if I will just send the delete request, then it should show me product delete. So guys, now you can see it is now showing us that the product is deleted. So guys, the product is deleted now. So if I will get the request from this product, like if I will now send this request, then it will show no product found. So if I will now go to the MongoDB database, and now you will see the documents, it only one, and now the laptop product is deleted from here. So guys, this is how can we create a CRUD operations. So guys, now you can see we have implemented the CRUD operation with the backend by creating a REST API. So now we can optimize our files a little bit, like here in the product docs file, this file is getting bigger and bigger. So if we can optimize this file by taking out the implementation of some functions, like there are the post functions, get product, and there are some get again, the patch and the delete. So if we can perform some optimization within the files, so we can now move on to the controller files, and we can just shift these functions to there. So about the controller files, the controllers act as a mediator between the view and the model, and it is responsible to control the data transmission between the model and the view. So about this, if we can do this, so we have to move this function to the controllers and just import this function here after this ID. So if we can try out, with the get function first. So this will be the first function with the get. So if I will just copy this function from here, and then I will go to the product controller file. So here we have to import the product model first. So it will be the const and the product, and it will be equals to the require from the ES6 again, and then the product model. It will be the product model. So now if we can just create a new function here, and it will be the const get products, and now the function is created, and now we have to copy this code from the product routes file. Like if I will just copy this code and if I will just paste here, so then now the function will act as like a controller. So now if we can export this function like the exports dot function name, like if I will give the same name as the get products, it will get products, and it will be equals to the function name like the get products. So if I will just save, if I will now remove this file, and if I will now go here and if I will just import here the product controller file, it will be the const product controller, and it will be equals to the require and the product controller file. It will be the product controller. Now after the get part, we just have to provide the reference to this function, which is the get product. So we have to give the reference to it, and it will be the product controller, the file name and the function name. Like we have imported a product controller here, like we have to give the product controller and dot the function name like the get products. So the get products here. So if I will now just save, and if I will now just go to the Postman to send a new request, so it will be the new request. So if I will now just click on the send, so it should show me the product here. So guys, now you will see the product is showing here in the console window. So guys, now the controllers are working fine. So if we have to do this in the every function, like the post and the patch, delete, and for the everything, so we have to cut this function from here, and we have to create the function in the controllers file. So if I will just copy this async function here again, and then if I will now go to the product controller file, and I have to create a new add product function here, and it will be the const add product as we did in the get, and it will be the same function here which we have copied from there. So if I will now just save, and if I will now just export this function of the exports dot add products, add product equals to the add product. So if I will now just save, and if I will now go to the product routes file, and if I will just copy here the product controller, and now it will be the product controller dot add product. So if I will now just save, and if I will now just go to the Postman to send a new request, so it will be the name equals to the bottle, and now this is a bottle, the price equals to the 100, URL will be sample URL, and the quantity will be the 20, and the is featured is equals to true. So if I will now just send this request, so it should show me the product, the created product in the database. So guys, you will see the product equals to this product. So if I will now get this product here like this, so it should show me the bottle here. Now you can see the bottle is here. So now the add controller is also working. So we have to do this from the all of the requests, like the get by ID. So we have to copy this from the ID also, and we have to do this for the every function. So it will be the ID, like const get by ID, and it will be this function. And I will just have to export this function here. Exports dot get by ID, get products by ID, and it will be equals to the get products by ID. So if I will now just save, then I should see in the product routes, like I will just remove this, and I will just type the product controller dot get products by ID. It will be get products by ID. So if I will now send this request, so if I will now save, and if I will now go to the Postman, and if I will send the request, like this is the ID, so sending this request, and it should show me the product here. So guys, now you will see the product is showing here. So now we can do this in the patch and the delete also. So just copy this code from here, just cut this code from here, and then just create a new function in the controller, and will the const update products equals to this function. So we have to just export this function at the exports dot update products, and it will be equals to the update product. And if I will now just save, and if I will now go to the routes file again, and it will be the product controller and dot, and it will be the update product. And then after this we have to do this in the delete also, like I will cut this code from here, and just create a new function in the controller. It will be the delete function. It will const delete products, and it will be equals to this function, the async function. The P will be capital as per the naming convention. So this will be this, and if I will just export this function also, the delete product also, and will be the exports delete product equal to delete product. So if I will now just save, and if I will now just go to the Postman, and if I will now go to the product routes now, and it will be the product controller dot and the delete product. So if I will now save this, and if I will now go to Postman there, and if I will now check this from the patch, like this will be the ID, like we have created a new bottle here, and I will just copy this ID from here, and if I will now go to the patch, and I will just update this product there like this, and the body will be now, and if I will now remove this, like this is like a bike, and this is a bike, the price will be 1,50,000 from this. The sample URL is quantity is this, and its feature is this, and if I will now send this request, then it should show me this product here like this. Like if I will now go to the get, then it will show me this bike here, like this is the bike, and this is the sample URL, the price. So guys, now you will see the update is also working. So if I will now go to the delete, and if I will just delete this product here, like the bike, so I have to go to the delete request. So now the delete request is here, so give this ID, and if I will just send this, then you will see the product is deleted. So if I will now get all the products, and this will be eliminated from that. So guys, now you will see all of the requests are working now. So guys, now we have completed the full backend development with the Node, Express and the MongoDB, and by building the new REST API. So guys, thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you will like the video, and guys, please subscribe to our channel Coding Beam if you are new, and for more tutorials like this.